welcome to Sewing Shenanigans. Hi, Rhonda. Oh, Texas, yes. Deanna, cold in Tennessee? Oh my God. John, it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a little while, so it's nice to see you again. I hope I remember to come back. Me too, Jean. Where are you? John, go tell Jean it's time to be online. Oh, well, I hope you all had a good week. I know it's been busy as heck around here at FPQ land. Boy, did we have exciting class last week. Brenda did a table running class. First class in our new classroom with all our new machines. And in all honesty, it couldn't have gone better. We had that fear of, oh no, someone's going to sit down to a strange machine and have, deer in the headlight syndrome. And there were a couple of people that might have started out that way, but within seconds, literally within seconds, they were like sailing. So that just speaks volumes for how easy it is to work with the Luminaire. And we were not embroidering. We were using it as a straight stitch machine, and it would phenomenally well. Produced some beautiful projects out of it, and actually had me questioning binding again. So later in the show, guess what we're going to visit again? You guessed it, binding. Hey, Brent, nice to see you. How are you?
I am good.
Yeah, it's been busy around here. Shop Happenings had some big announcements.
Oh yes. Starting for the holiday season, we're going to give this a try for a couple months. Oh. Wow.
Oh, thank you. Ed's got to put light on our lovely faces.
What is that shirt you're wearing?
It's I got it for free at a show.
Yeah, okay.
That's sweet. There's somebody's shoveling body parts. It looks like a Jeffrey Dahmer shirt.
I think we want to turn that light on too. 1 second.
I was ready this time. See how it works around here?
I know, you were like...
There's always somebody on their toes and somebody not on their toes. Oh, Betty was going to go get the broomstick again.
Yeah, well,
but instead we get to see your back.
Well, silverback.
Luckily, it was covered.
Yes.
We don't want to see that uncovered. No, sorry,
I mean,
Sarah.
I could start like an OnlyFans, and get paid to uncover that.
Yeah, you probably could.
Meow. Anyway.
Yes.
So anyway, shop news. We have some. We'll get to that in a second. The big thing is we're going to try something new for starting November 1st. We're going to be open. We're going to try some new holiday hours and see how it goes. We're going to open at 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that's
9 to 8.
9 to 8. So that's like 11 hours that will be open.
Wow. So now, Monday through Friday.
Tuesday through Friday.
I'm sorry, Tuesday through Friday.
I still want my day off.
I know.
But so that's going to be, that'll give you plenty of time for holiday shopping, but even more importantly, if you want to come in and sew, if there's nothing on the calendar.
Yeah, I'm thinking we need to start some little fast projects.
Yes, we're going to sew.
Christmas gift ideas.
Yeah, Christmas gift. I am in the process of trying to get a probably stocking class sorted out. There's a few ideas that we have that are going to be look for on the calendar here in the next couple weeks.
Yes.
But yes, we are going to have extended hours for the holiday.
Yeah.
If it goes well and people actually come in for the extended hours, we'll probably keep that through most of the winter, maybe even, I don't know, summer. I like to go do things, but we'll figure it out. But
and it's wonderful because of all the new machines we have set up. And one thing I wanted one person said to me, they were doing prairie, and they were like, okay, I'm going to do it by, the old-fashioned way, blanket stitch. And she goes, and then I saw your block, and I went, I don't want to do it that way anymore. I want to embroider it, but I don't have a big fancy embroidery machine. I only have a little embroidery machine. And I said, well, you can still do it, but you're going to spend so much money and time in stabilizing and hooping that you should consider coming in and using one of the Luminaires to do your project. And she is doing that.
Yes.
But she said to me, I don't know how to use these big fancy machines. And I said, well, the beauty is I'll schedule a 2-hour one-on-one with you to get you kick-started your first day and get you off and running. So what occurred to me is that could become a stumbling block for people wanting to come in.
Yes.
And if you schedule ahead and say, this is what I want to do,
yes,
we can set you up for success. which is what I've done with her. I know what she wants to accomplish, and that's all I'm really going to drill on. I'm not going to show her the whole machine. I'm going to show her how to do what she wants to do. So even you folks who have luminaires, and you're thinking, I don't know how to do this, and I want to know how to do this is a very inexpensive, easy way to get some one-on-one time and complete a project.
Take your game to the next level.
Take it to the next level.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
but you have to call ahead to do that. You can't just expect someone to be there by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I can help you out, kind of. I've got some know-how, but
he does.
You're going to find that some projects you're going to want me to call some heavy hitters in to take care of you. Because
Brent does just fine, but it's still easier to give us heads up on what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be available. Like I said, that's something we've been talking about for a while. We thought it'd be a great idea to kind of open that up, because I know some of you, well, probably if you're watching right now, you don't work during the day, but if you do, it'll give you a chance to get in after.
Or they watch it later too.
Yeah.
They watch it later.
Yeah, so that's going to be available. We're really excited about that.
Yeah.
So that's coming. Like I said, that's going to start November 1st, because it turns out November 1st starts on a Tuesday. So I'm like, that's a perfect time.
Perfect, yeah. And October's just flinging by.
Yes,
Oh
October.
my Lord.
And then we did get some fabric in late last night, just before I left, or was getting ready to leave. And so this is new. I don't know if we have it in the system yet, but I just wanted to show you.
Wait a minute, haven't we seen that before?
It's
We've seen
similar.
these guys.
Similar. This is her new collection.
That's new?
Yeah, it's her new one. The last one didn't have the full thing. It was mostly just the heads.
Oh.
But it did so well, and everybody loved it. That's
they're really cute.
Well, that's why I did it again, because the other collection did really well.
I thought it looked familiar. That's all.
And this one here is.
This doesn't look familiar.
And this is the other.
Oh, very cute.
Yeah. So this is there's two panels, and then there's of course some coordinates that go with them.
Yeah.
Same style, but I thought that came in late last night or yesterday afternoon. So that's not in the system yet, but it will be shortly.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, there's an example. If you said, "Oh, I'd like to learn how to do the quilting digitizing on these panels," we can do that now.
Oh yeah, we could. That would be kind of fun.
You can say, "This is what I want to learn. I want to come in and do this."
Yeah.
And you can.
And that's the idea. You can.
Yeah.
Or at least we can all try together.
And you don't have to buy you don't have to buy an entire machine.
Yeah, but I'm not going to lie to you. We just sold the machine over the weekend because somebody came in and was like, this is so much nicer than my machine. I want one.
Were they in the class? Or were they?
Was she in the class?
I'm telling you, people were very impressed. Once they sat down and got over it's a different machine. It was like, and I have to tell you, Brent, I forget how wonderful they are. And we had 6 machines all running, and us, we were just able to chat in our regular voices.
Because
the machines were like so quiet. I forget how quiet
I know.
they
The
are.
tire shop next door makes more noise in here than our machines
We
do.
were just having regular conversations with all the machines running. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. So that alone, I'm like, oh,
So
beautiful.
so come in and enjoy.
Yeah, Brenda put up with me, so that was good.
But everyone had a good time.
I had a great time.
Okay. So that's prairie kits. What else do we got to cover?
Prairie kits.
I was gonna say.
I keep interrupting. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. You prairie kits. I just had a note. So if you want to add to that,
I want to add to the prairie kits. I'm going to throw Danny under the bus to all of you. Okay.
I'm right here.
Too bad you're being run over. I can't even explain the amount of work, hours, and effort that have gone into these prairie kits. It has been a group effort, and to get it all done and to get it as far as it has, and I am very proud of the group effort. But Danny posts on Facebook, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the easiest, how easy is this project?
And she says like 11, right?
And I think it got rated 8 or 9. This was for somebody brand new to embroidery.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, it is easy. And I'm thinking, it's easy because of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
if you tried to do it, it wouldn't have been
you guys
easy.
did a fantastic
We
job.
did.
Yes.
We all have.
All I did was cut fabric. You guys did all the work.
So on that note, we're on our second batch of kits. We still have some kits
yes.
coming, and it is a great fun project. And you can do so much of it as piecing. Okay, it's not all machine applique. You can get your stuff all set up, ready to go, and come in here and kick out several blocks in one afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Because it's easy.
Well, it is for a beginner.
Yes.
Who isn't in the circle?
I was going to say,
project.
if I had shown all the text messages between you and me, I'd be like, what do you mean that jump is there? What do you mean that doesn't go there? What do you mean that's in the wrong order? Yeah, it's easy now.
Yes. So yes, we have Prairie Kits available. Buy one. They're great.
Oh,
they're fun,
please
and
do.
they're
And I'm going
gorgeous.
to show you some other ideas
Yes.
for them in today's song and dance.
Yes. Machines. We got some 1350s that came in. So if you're looking for a new sewing machine, I do have a few 1350s that came in.
Okay, can I tell the story of the 1350s?
Sure.
Okay, here's what happened to our 1350. So please come in and buy. We said, look, we're going to put luminaires in the classroom. Those are very expensive machines. You can go get a car for what those machines cost.
Yes.
Okay, that's just life. So we said, but we don't want to exclude the people who just want to use a regular sewing machine, and we need to have a smaller price point for them, hence the $15 price point.
Yeah.
So we get them all loaded in. The 1350s haven't arrived, and me and Brenda are looking at each other going, you really want to take these down for the table runner class? You really want to put them away?
Yeah.
They were luminaires, and then we were going to put them away and set up 1350s. And Brenda and I are like, no, we would rather teach every class on these
Yes.
machines. So Brenda and I go to Brent and go, can we just sell the 1350s? And
Yeah.
come up with if you're using the luminaire as a regular sewing machine, you can still use it at $15 if you're not embroidering with it.
Yep.
So we still have the $15 price point,
But you just gotta.
but you got all the bells and
Just gotta say, you
whistles. So I'm telling you, it's night and day. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
now
like-
we have 1350s for sale.
Yeah, it's like you went to Enterprise to rent a Corolla and they gave you a Lexus.
And now all you want to do is use the Lexus.
but you're
yeah.
but you're only paying for the Corolla. So
Yeah.
So it's nice. It works out
is,
good. Yeah.
'cause we were using the laser, we were
Yep.
using the grids, we were using a lot
So-
of the built-in stuff.
Yeah, so we have some 1350s for sale.
We
I
do.
think we have 3 or 4 of them because they just
And they're
have-
beautiful machines.
Oh yeah, they're great.
I have one
Yeah,
at home.
a lot of people that have the high end like the luminaires like them because they're great second machines and great travel machines.
They are.
So we have those. Then I've also, if you are interested in luminaire, I believe we should have a couple new 3s are on their way in, so we will have stock on those here shortly.
Wow. What about our upgrades? I'm still waiting to upgrade
I
our
have
classroom.
a couple of upgrades that came in.
Well, they're mine, aren't they?
They're all spoken for, yeah.
The problem, I was going to say, the reason that nobody's heard that we're not listing them yet is because they all have a home. We wanted
We
to wait.
need 6.
They didn't send who?
We
Yeah,
need
they did-
6 for the classroom.
We do, but we didn't get 6, and I don't want to upgrade half of the machines and not have them all at
Well,
the
you
same
see
level.
what he's doing here? He's putting me out to pasture.
No, they're on their way.
It's all right. I can't wait to do the edge quilting class.
Okay. So that's what we got for that. Classes, just check our schedule online. We've been adding stuff to the calendar. We have the Tankini class tomorrow. If you're interested in that, sign up within the next couple hours because I don't think we have anybody signed up yet.
We
so
should have shown that.
we can just go grab
You know
it.
what a tankini is? It's actually, the patent has 3 different size runners in it. One of them is so small it's meant for the back of the toilet.
Yep, sits right on the toilet tank. It's super cute.
So that's hence the name
I
tankini.
almost want to make one with some fun fabric.
I don't want anything on the back of my toilet.
Why not use something fun?
I don't know, but that's weird that I don't.
But it might
Because
make
it
sense-
might
okay,
fall
yeah,
into my toilet.
But that being said, I think there's a difference there though. Because consider this.
I have a really fancy toilet.
Yes, but there's something.
I do.
But consider the difference. When I'm taking care of my business, quick in and out, I'm actually staring at the top of the tank. So that's why I appreciate.
Well, then you should have that cowboy on.
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
top
saying.
of the
So I
tank.
appreciate what's on top of the.
You wouldn't if you had my toilet, because it's so nice to sit down.
But that's what I'm saying. You're
It's
actually
heated
you're not
seat.
looking.
Oh my.
You're not looking at the top of
It's
the
got
tank like I am.
misters. It's got warm
I have
wash
thought-
waters.
I have-
It blow dries.
I have heard. I saw it come up on my. You know, like because I love modern technology with the algorithms because they know what you're looking for before you do.
Yes, I do.
And like across my, I don't even remember what I was looking at, but the ad came up for a retrofit bidet for your toilet, and I'm like,
yeah,
maybe
Toto.
I do.
Toto makes.
Maybe I
have,
do need one of those.
I have a Toto one, and I'll tell you what, that heated seat is worth it.
I don't know if I get used to. Yeah,
You would. My husband sits down. Plus, it closes itself. It flushes itself.
No, what I'm saying is the bidet side of it where you spray your butt clean. I don't know if that.
They do. You have to really.
Rhonda says this is too much information.
You really gotta get the aim just right. And mine has a lady mode too.
Again.
Yeah, I think Rhonda's
I
right.
agree with.
We're getting to the point. We're. I was just making the point. I was just making the point that a tankini. I see that I would probably see it more because
Okay,
of how
all right. How
I
do we
use my
go?
bathroom.
This is the pattern. It
Yes.
has 3 different sizes in it.
Yeah, I just showed everybody the
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
See,
we
I
were
was
talking.
I was thinking.
All right, but that's
thinking
tomorrow.
It was time to go get
If
washed.
you're interested in this class, sign up before the day's out because I don't think we have anybody signed up for this yet. And if we don't have anybody on there before the day's out, then we're not going to run it.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, but I'm also like I don't want people showing up tomorrow morning thinking we're going to do it, and if we don't have
Yeah.
any sign-ups, it's not happening.
Yeah,
Because
it's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
Because I'm not
Sorry,
gonna-
Bob.
I'm just saying.
Okay, you just.
All right, that's that. And then, like I said, just check out our classes online. Keep an eye out. We are going to probably add some.
Are we sold out on the Kimberbell one?
Yes,
Saturday
the
and
Kimber-
Sunday.
the
It's
Kim-
2 days, not 1
Yeah,
day.
the Kimberbell is
Saturday,
sold out,
Sunday.
yep.
It is okay.
The Kimberbell has been sold out. And then the other thing I was just going to say is keep an eye out. There's been some interest in a stocking class, so I'm working on the details for Christmas stocking class and pajama pants. I've had some interest in pajama pants, and I've got the flannel to make them. So now we just got to get the class.
Absolutely want to make pajama pants.
So keep an eye out. That's going to be coming up. I don't have it on the classes yet, but that's.
We have a
kinda where I'm at.
question from the audience.
Yes.
2 things. 1, stop talking about pajama pants unless you're actually going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
I'm excited and I'm sick of hearing about it.
Danny, you and I can do it if he doesn't. We
Let's
can do
do it.
pajama
But you
pants.
saw the flannel came in.
You
the
want to do
buffalo check.
pajama pants?
I ordered the buffalo check.
After this, we're going to have a meeting and set up
I
pajama
know,
pants.
but I ordered that flannel just for that.
Let's do it.
I have some really
Wait, I got another
cool
one.
Yeah.
pajama pant material.
Yes.
I forgot. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay, so Danny is committed to pajama pants.
Yes.
The trick
Oh, wait,
is
I remember.
bring in a pair that you already like the fit of. That's the easiest way to make pajama pants. Is if you have a pair you already like, well, have a pair that you like the
Bev
fit
just
of.
wanted to see the larger one, so I'm just showing that.
Oh,
This
hi,
one-
Bev!
Imagine the toilet tank that
But
fits
the
on.
class is
Like
making.
the. Like
No,
the-
that's not for the toilet.
But the size of the person that would use that toilet.
Oh my goodness.
But
It's
the-
like Jack and the Beanstalk.
In the class, they're making the small one.
Okay. Yes.
They are.
Yes.
They are.
Yeah.
They're making the small one. But the pattern you get has 2 other sizes in it
Yes.
as well. A large is 14 by 33, small 10 by 23, in mini or tank 8 by 18.
Yes. It'll be fun. All right.
It will be fun.
That's all I have for yes.
I think if you make it out
I
of
remember
funky
now.
material, it might make a good Christmas gag
Yeah.
joke.
I have a suggestion for your stockings.
We have a stocking suggestion from the
Yes.
Peanut Gallery.
What about foam puffy names on a stocking?
Oh, foam puffy names.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know what you're
I
talking
think that's
about.
so cute.
Are you helping with these classes, Danny?
No, I'm just suggesting
Yeah.
them.
Puffy foam. It takes a special embroidery file for puffy foam to look just
and,
right.
and as we talk about this, we're probably going to plan a Ready for Christmas weekend where we're going to do like a 2-day Christmas projects.
Perfect.
Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Keep an eye out for it. These are
Love
things
it.
we're but anyway,
I love it.
that's all I got for news. Shop news. Wow.
Okay.
That was very
well,
educational.
it's been busy. It's been busy. How's the sale going?
Oh, the sale. I forgot about the sale. Yeah, we if we're running a sale through till the end of the month, $5.95 a
Or
yard.
until stuff is gone.
Yeah, until the stuff is gone, because we're actually down. We had we had 2 racks, and so if you go a side on each rack, you had a total of 8 shelves, because there's 2 on each side. 8 shelves.
Math. Sister gave, not mine.
We are down. 3 of the shelves are now empty. That's how much stuff we have sold.
Yeah.
And that was
When it's gone, the sale's
when it's gone,
over,
it's gone. Or the end of
or
if it's not sold by the end of the month, the sale's over, and we're taking the shelf space back for
for other stuff.
But that's going on. It's $5.95 a yard. If you do 10 yards or minimum of 1 yard cut. If you do 10 yards or more, it goes down to $5 a yard.
Is it 10 yards of the same fabric?
No, just all together.
Oh,
all the
I
sale
thought
stuff.
it was 10 yards of the same fabric.
No, just
so.
a
Cool
total
beans.
of 10 yards of sale fabric.
Okay.
And then it goes down to $5 a yard. If you do 20 yards, then it goes down to $4.50.
Ooh.
At 1 yard cuts.
At minimum of 1 yard cut,
Minimum
yeah.
of 1 yard
If there's not
cut.
1 yard left on
Awesome.
the bolt, then we won't hold you to that. But
Okay. All right.
But-
Wow, that's fabulous.
yeah, so
that's
been
a great
that's been going
deal.
good. And like I said, if you're interested in that, stop in sooner or later, because it's getting picked over pretty good. There's still a lot of good stuff on there because we have awesome fabric, but
Kimber says she likes the witchy legs. That's Danny's idea of being funny. I think that's Brenda. I think she put Brenda in the cabinet.
you should see. I just ordered some fabric yesterday for next year, and the Halloween collection we have coming in I think in May.
Really?
It's awesome.
Wowzer.
I think it's called Bones from Blank.
Oh, I think I saw Bones.
Does it glow?
No, but I had to choose between that one and there was another one. And just so you all know, I did go
Oh
with the one
no,
I
was
liked.
anybody here with you?
Yes, Eddie and Brenda talked me out of the one because one I liked was very masculine. But the one that we ended up going with is really cool. It's
We
a
don't
really
like Brent to pick fabric all on his own.
but it's a really cool.
All we'd have is aliens and cowboys.
And unicorns.
And
You'll be happy
unicorns
to
and
know that
marijuana
I passed on the aliens and the marijuana leaves.
leaves. See?
The new Rachel Hunter Halloween that's coming out, that one is spectacular. We're getting that one too.
Okay.
That's
all right.
for you people that don't know. I think it's Rachel Hunter. She's Tula Pink's tattoo artist.
Oh.
So she started designing she's done fabric
that's
a
really
couple
cool.
times, but her collection
very cool.
her collection is coming out next year. Her next
Oh,
in the
awesome.
spring is, if you look it up, it's fantastic.
Okay.
It's like a good,
Shall do.
yeah. I'm sorry, with the witch legs made me think of that
Yeah.
because
Well, that's okay. The witch
it's the kind of
legs they
fabric-
look like they're kicking me.
it's the kind of fabric I get excited about.
Yeah.
I don't think did we get any old lady fabric yesterday, Eddie? I don't think we
I
did.
don't think you should say old lady fabric. We're allowed to say it.
No, we're not.
Well, we're old.
Okay,
and
let's
we're
move
ladies.
on.
Well, let me change it. Wallpaper fabric.
There
That's
you
what we
go.
used to call it. Wallpaper fabric. You know the fabric that looks like wallpaper? Some people really like it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just not my thing.
Oh, good job, Kaya. She said she
Right.
came in and made some
Yes.
sale purchases. I like it. I like it.
And
See, Kai will like the stuff that we ordered yesterday.
Well, yeah, you got to have some of it. It's just you tend to, like,
Well, yeah.
okay, what are we
Anyway,
on now?
Quiz time.
Oh, this is a good quiz. This is also a test to see if he did what he said he was going to do. And anybody want to put any money where my mouth is? I bet he didn't.
is that the quiz question?
Yeah, I bet he didn't. Last week, we were showing off seam rippers and whatnot, and I brought up what I thought was one of my favorite tools to use for picking. And I said, the bummer is it only comes in a set. I buy a whole set just for that one tool. Mm-hmm. And Brent said, oh, I think I can source those for you. Mm-hmm. The question is, what was that tool? What was the tool? Yeah, Jean! She's hot, baby! Jean, oh, look at and oh my gosh,
And
they
you'll
were
be happy
listening! They
you'll-
were listening! I love it! $10 GC goes to
Are you going to
Jean.
go check that box for me, Danny?
Their tweezers are fabulicious. So the question
I don't know
is,
if these were what you were looking for.
did he source them? He got something.
These were an attempt to see if these were what you were looking for. I don't know if they're the exact ones, but
No,
if not, I thought they would be good tweezers to have anyway.
they are. They don't have the cutter on
They
them.
don't have the SE.
Well, I'll try it, but
See,
it doesn't look like. Yeah, but they have
A
cutters.
Yes. I was trying to
So
find.
he at least got some nice
Who
tweezers.
I thought made it didn't make it, so I had to do a little bit of research. I ran across these. I'm like, you know what? These are tweezers. We'll get those.
These are nice tweezers,
Yeah.
but if you get Kimberbells out, do we have any in here? Probably not.
No.
Yeah, we're out of their toolkits.
We might have one of their toolkits over in the corner.
It has
but-
to come. It's in their toolkit, and I'm telling you, I have purchased
I know what you're
two
talking-
of their toolkits, and I don't need everything in the toolkit. I need the tweezers. These are awesome tweezers. These will be good for picking up little threads and stretching them. But what Kimberbells has on the edges are cutters. So when I go like this and I put it underneath, real close to a jump stitch or something, it actually slices the
Just
jump
here for a
stitch. Doesn't tear it, it slices it. You're gonna open that?
It's not like we'll be able to
I
sell
don't
it.
need 3, Brent.
We'll open it because now when somebody comes in the shop and wants to look at it, they're
The
like, oh.
tweezers are really something else. So he's still got to find a source. But congratulations, Jean. And Deanna says, hey, the old lady fabric comment. Yeah, I'm with you, Dee. I like that stuff too. I'm the old lady. I'm with ya. Oh, Shelly, she bought a second set for the tweezers too. I'm telling you.
Are those tweezers?
Yes, these tweezers. Look at the. We probably can't get the camera to show
Well,
how
here,
these
put 'em-
edges. If you tip it, see how they're beveled. They both have beveled edges, so they cut your thread.
Oh, up here.
Yeah, at the
Oh,
tips.
yeah. Well, no, I think the tips are fairly similar.
Well, you
But-
go under, and then you can slice
Well,
like
if I
this.
can't source them, what I can do is I can just get the grinder out and we'll make some.
But these
No.
are the bomb.
Yeah, I can see what
Shelly,
you're saying.
they
Yeah,
are,
right there.
right?
Yeah, right there. I can see the.
Yeah, I'm telling
so-
you, they slice your thread too.
Yeah, right there.
So when
Anyway.
you're doing, you have some of these teeny tiny jump stitches.
Mm-hmm.
You put that in, you slice one side, clean. Then you pick up the thread with the tweezers and clip the second side. They're amazing. That's all I can say. The
Yes.
set's worth it just for the other stuff is nice too.
Yeah,
But their tweezers,
I'm gonna have to see what I can find out
Got
about
me.
those tweezers.
the tweezers got me. But these are nice. But these are not
Yeah.
gonna cut.
But they're not who I thought made them. Didn't make them. So then
Oh.
I had to. But those guys make the tweezers.
But they're still very good.
Yeah, they're good tweezers. I
Tweezers.
think it wouldn't hurt to get them in, and the cost on it wasn't bad.
Not
so.
as good as Kimberly's
Anyway.
though.
So who won?
Jean did.
Jean,
She
okay.
was like
On top of it.
number one on my notes. She said, "Yeah."
Okay.
She was just out there. Like before I could get the word, I didn't even get to really dance this time. $10 GC to Jean.
And I'm feeling good that I actually did what I was supposed to.
Sorta.
I'm kind of impressed.
Winning at
Sorta.
life today.
He got us some good needlepoint tweezers. That's what. He
All
got.
right, so that brings us on to quilt of the week.
Where is that?
This right here. And
Oh, it's got little bumblebees on
this
it.
is we had this on the machine, and Eddie loaded.
Oh my gosh, I love
The
that.
best part is I
Ow!
said, Eddie, load up the next quilt for me on the machine. And the best part is here. I'm gonna put this over here so you can see the note that Eddie put on there.
Get rid of the name.
Ed would like to know quilt pattern.
Yes, Ed would like to know the quilt pattern. I'm like, okay, and I love how it's written in Eddie's words. So I was like,
You
why-
mean it was you already loaded the quilt pattern and he
No,
wants
no,
to
he
know
loaded.
what
No,
it was?
he wanted to know the pattern to make this quilt.
Oh, to make it.
Yes, because
Oh yeah. Oh, is that cute?
Oh, it is.
Oh, that's all piece too. Isn't that who's the designer in that? I've seen
I can't
this.
remember her name, but I
Darn
know.
darn it, we need to know that. Look at the llama.
So when Sue comes in, if Sue's watching this,
Is
tell,
this Sue's too?
yes, it's Sue.
Does she do anything
I don't think so.
besides
I don't think she
quilts?
sleeps. I don't think she
know
sleeps.
how.
Look
She
at the
always has
llama,
soccer
people.
games.
Look at the llama. Oh my gosh.
Okay, here I'll hold it up higher so you can
I
see
love
the
it.
llama.
I love it. I love it. A unicorn. It's so cute.
Yes, so that's quilt of the week.
And I've seen it, and we should.
Yeah, I can't remember because she
better
has
look
a
up the name of the
yeah,
pattern.
because-
You're right, Ed. What is the name? Any of you out there recognize that? Yeah, it is cute, right? And I like the bumblebee choice. That's cute
Yes.
too. That's cute too.
Well, look, I was gonna say.
And I like the color to show it off.
Well, the problem with
know-
the quilt, the problem I run into with a quilt like this, because I'm not a custom quilter, what you run into, and this is a really good example of this, is what do you put on this? Well, the slots upside down. What do you put on this for? What do you put on something like this for an all-over pattern
Yeah.
that doesn't take
Take
away
away.
from? So you have a couple problems. I'm just going to talk about this since we have this up. This is a great
Okay,
example.
you go ahead and talk about
So
it. I'm
one
gonna
of the problems
sit
you run
down
into
and
with
listen.
an all-over is no, got it upside down. Is what do you first off? What thread color do you use?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to take away from the piecework. The piecework in this is awesome.
But it's got a lot of empty space.
A lot of empty space, so you want to fill that with quilting. And for the kind of quilting we do, to keep it inexpensive, it's just going to be all over. So the first question is, what do you use for a thread color? Because if you go super like a white, it's going to really show up here. But then you'll probably be fine across your animals. But if you went with something dark in the background, then it's really going to show up across some of your animals.
Because we have some
So
white.
thread color is sometimes a problem, trying to figure out what thread is going to look best across everything.
Yeah, you did a good job with that.
There's a nice color yellow. This one, there's a yellow and like a really kind of almost a brownish yellow that seems to blend well with a lot of stuff. So we went with kind of a yellow here. But then the other question is, what are you going to do for a pattern? Because if you're going to do all over, again, you don't want to take away from the theme of the quilt. Luckily, we had this really cute little bumblebee.
Yeah, I like it. I
Pattern.
love the choice of the thread color.
Yeah, the bumblebee pattern, the bumblebee art matched the flavor of the quilt. Because that's the other thing that we often run into is you'll have a pattern, a quilt pattern in mind, but the style of the actual quilting differs from the style of the fabric or the pattern itself. So you've got to really.
Love the owls.
I ran into this. In fact, I've got a really nice quilt on the machine right now with whales on it. But they're realistic whales. It's a really nice quilt. But all I have for whale quilt patterns is little baby cartoon whales.
Oh yeah, so you don't.
So
want
I don't want to put those on it because it doesn't match the theme. So
Right.
we ended up instead of going with whales, we found a nice kind of a coral bubbly look.
Oh, good.
Because again, we tried to match the style of the quilt with what the quilt has on it. We want to match the style of the quilting.
Dee wants to know the pattern also.
Yes.
See, we all
We were gonna
pick-
find out.
We'll find out. Now, how many people come in? This is off topic, but how many people come in and they say to you, "I want to pick my quilt pattern," versus they go, "Brent, figure it out."
It's at the point now. It's about, I would say, 25%, maybe 1 in 4 people are really specific about what they want. They've got a thread color. They want a thread color. They want to pick their pattern. A lot of people, and I get that.
Yeah.
Because it's part of the creative process. You want to make sure it looks right. I get a lot of people that don't want to put that kind of thought into it because it
They
is.
just want you to do it.
Yes, and it's one. And honestly,
I've seen it. That's why and it
Yeah.
surprised me. They'll be like, "Oh, Brent, whatever.
because
Make it look good."
and honestly, I like it when people pick everything out because then all my work's done. I just load it on the machine, do what I've been told. The worst part is because sometimes like the whale one sat. We had that loaded up, and I had it sitting. It took me about an hour and a half to find the right pattern for it.
Yeah.
Because it's like
it's hard
because
sometimes.
it's part of the process because you know what you want to put on it, but it's yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So most people just come in and
yeah
they'll have a discussion regarding the backing,
yeah
but it's usually a very brief discussion.
yeah the back, and that's like I said because it's all over. You've got to kind of come up with something that works. It's not custom work is a whole different ballgame because you can really kind of do what you want. But like I said, I enjoy the work. But there's some thought that goes into it. You know,
There's a lot of thought, which is why I'm not good
I mean,
at it.
I have one lady that all she
totally
ever wants
think
is just meander. She wants
Oh,
meander
yeah.
with a linen color thread. She
Yeah.
wants that on everything.
Wow.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get one, I'm like, we could do a little bit more with it.
She's like, "Nope, I like it.
Yeah.
I like what I like."
But yeah.
Cool.
Because then the other thing you have to get into, now that I'm talking about this,
Yeah.
is scale of the pattern. Because some quilts look better with a larger scale pattern, some look better with a tighter scale pattern.
Right. Like I noticed the openness in that B.
Yeah.
If it had been a tighter B, I don't think it would have looked as
Yes.
nice.
That's another
But
part of
because
the
it was an open
yes.
space.
A little bit more
B.
open, and
Yeah.
that's one of the other reasons I
like
went with that is because we didn't want super tight
Mm-hmm.
quilting. Again, that would have taken away from the piecework. But in a really busy quilt, sometimes that density helps. Like if you have like a lot of white space,
Yes.
and you want to really kind of fill that, with a white thread, you can add something to that negative space with a denser pattern. But
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into.
Too much goes
Which-
into it. It's
yeah,
crazy
anyway.
how much.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Turbo tip.
Well, I don't really have a turbo
Okay, then
tip.
we'll skip turbo
But
tip.
I have a giveaway for next week.
Oh, we have a giveaway.
Yeah. Can I do
Yeah,
that?
we can do that.
I
People always
have.
like when you give stuff away.
I have these strips.
I loved that strip. Did you get the panels that went with that?
I did not.
That was a nice set.
But these are great colors for a lot of stuff that I've seen
And they're-
being
and-
made out there.
And Island Batik makes nice batiks.
Yeah, it's really nice. And there are 40 in here, 2 of each, so that's what's nice. 40 strips, they're 2.5 inches wide, 40 pieces, 20 different flavors. So it's 2 sets, if you will. And they're beautiful colors. I think I bought it to make, I know I bought it to make a quilt for my son. But here
How many years ago was that?
well, well, we'll see if there's a copyright on here.
I was going to say, you're making it for his kid now because it's been
I'm
that
not,
long.
I'm not making it. I'm giving it away, and they're beautiful. I love them, and they're great fabrics. So in the comments on the show, I know they are. They're beautiful. Norma, first time watching. Glad
Okay, hold on.
Nice,
Hold on.
nice.
Okay, just a second. Not picking on anybody, but with a name like Norma Bates, if that is your name,
Why?
the Bates Motel was run by who?
Oh, for goodness sakes!
I'm just wondering
watching
because
people.
that
Make
has,
sure you subscribe, Norma. You cannot win this prize if you're not a subscribed person. All you got to do in the comments next week. Thank you, Rhonda, for covering up for.
No, I was asking.
Now she'll never tune in again.
But I have a question because it might be an homage to the Bates Motel.
No,
which then,
no, it's her real name.
but if it's
she
real,
just told you.
Yes, which is cool. But then my next question would be: does that?
She's never going to watch you again.
But I have so many questions now.
Okay, here we go. Well,
Never
you're
mind.
not going to ask them.
Not picking on them. It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you. These batiks are yours. All you got to do is comment in the posted video, Sand Dune.
Sand dunes.
Sand Dune.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, I like how you doing.
How you doing?
How you doing? I like it.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
And then we'll do the spinning wheel. If I had $1 every time. Yeah, thank you,
No,
Norma.
I wasn't trying.
Yeah.
I was curious.
Go away.
I'm just being
I'm
curious.
gonna push him.
I'm sorry, Norma. And Norma's a great name. I have an Aunt Norma.
I want a Duna. Is that what I said?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you do? D-U-N-I-N-G. How you doing? Eddie's saying, what is this? That's what it is. Put that down, and you know what? We'll give this away next week with a spinning wheel. And Eddie's been practicing.
He's been practicing.
He's been practicing. Yeah, he's been practicing.
He's not even paying attention right now. He's like doodling something over there.
Yeah, but okay. So this is up for next week.
Yes.
Okay, cool beans. I'm gonna put in my prize drawer.
In the prize drawer? Okay.
Yep, we'll know after.
All right.
So.
So that brings it over to me for the workbench.
Yes. Yes, Brent.
Yes, okay.
Workbench
Now
with
I'm
Brent.
feeling bad. I'm sorry, Norma.
You should feel bad.
I do feel bad. I'm sorry.
You can pick on me. You know me
I wasn't
well
picking.
enough to pick on me.
I wasn't picking. I was curious.
If it has anything to do with sci-fi, you lose Brent in 2 seconds.
It's not sci-fi. I have a kid that's into 80s horror movies, and that's just, you know.
I've never got into horror
I didn't
movies
either.
at all.
I didn't either. And
I don't like them.
like the slasher.
I mean,
gore.
I jump when somebody walks around the corner.
I have a new appreciation for them because my kids make me watch them.
Oh.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a
Anyway,
fan.
what we're going to talk about is we had a question about the threader cutting too short last week.
Yes.
And I just wanted to address that real quick.
The automatic trim when I'm in embroidery mode
Yes, I wanted to show you.
trims, I think, too short.
And it is, and we're going to get into that in a second. I do want to show people a setting. So if we go over here, of course, we'll remove the dual feet.
Oh,
There
I'm
we
sorry.
go. Okay.
I got it set up for my
Yeah,
dog
no,
and pony.
we can fix it real quick. So I'm just gonna grab a random because anything will work for this.
Okay.
There is a setting in here. So if you go to embroidery, now we're gonna say, okay, we're ready to embroider. There is a setting in here. You've got lots of stuff. This threading between jump stitches, you can change your jump stitch length here. It's defaults to 0.2 inches. You can.
What that means is how long that jump stitch is
gonna be,
before
yes.
it goes into automatic trim mode.
Yes, so it's gonna be how far the hoop moves before it trims it. So how much of a tail you have. So you can go up, or you can, like I said, the default is there. You can't go any less than that. But if you want a little bit more space, you can just keep increasing
And
up to 2 inches.
Sometimes, in all honesty, I just shut that off.
You had that shut off in here.
Because can I tell you why?
Why?
Because when it does an automatic trim and it does a new start, it makes that knot. It makes 2 tails and a knot. If I turn that off, it knots, moves over, knots again, and I've got this long piece that I can go trim. I can get a closer trim
Yep.
myself.
Yes.
So I tend to say, I don't want you trimming my thread.
But
But most people don't agree with me.
One of the first embroidery machines I did the big project on did not have a jump stitch trim,
Yeah,
and it was a pain.
yeah. Most people will turn that on.
And just
Yeah.
if you're in the market for a machine, and you're kind of just testing the waters, and you want to get an inexpensive embroidery machine, the 1400. I can't remember. Was it the NQ 1400? Yeah, that machine doesn't have jump stitch.
Wow.
Which
means you manually
you
cut
have to manually.
everyone.
But the machine that came out a year later, the NQ 1600, does have jump stitch. So keep that in mind if you are in the market for, because you can pick those up used, fairly reasonably priced. The 1400 is you're going to find it a couple $100 cheaper, and like, oh, this is a deal.
Yeah.
It is if you don't know.
If you're like me,
if you
though-
don't know what you're missing, it's a fine deal. But once you get used to a jump stitch, you're going to want the 1600.
Here's my problem is I turn it over, and even those little tails,
Yeah.
I find the need to clip.
Okay.
Now most people do not.
Well, I just move on. Yes.
I think your mom is like me though. I think she clips
Yes.
them too.
And if you
So,
wanted to turn jump stitch off, you just
can you
tap
change
that.
the length for
and it-
straight sewing?
Yep.
It doesn't trim. You mean the regular trim stitch? This
That's
is what
what
we're
we're
going to
gonna-
talk
we're gonna
about
get into
next,
that in just-
Jean.
yeah, we're gonna
Jean
get-
said, "Can you change the length for straight stitching?" That's what I want to see.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that next. So this I just want to show you because this is here, and you can actually turn your jump stitch off or on here.
Yeah.
If it's off, you can't change it obviously because we can turn it off. If it's on, you can adjust it. That's going to be for your jump stitch during embroidery. Now, Jean asked the question, can you change it for regular straight stitch sewing? And that would also be for regular embroidery sewing.
Right. That's not really the jump stitch. That's the trim stitch.
The trim stitch. And the answer for that is no.
That's
Nobody
not-
wants to hear that.
It's
There
not
is some
true.
adjustments that you can make.
It's not a software adjustment.
It's not a quick, easy software adjustment. There are some adjustments you can make. If you're finding that repeatedly, every time if you're just sewing along, and repeatedly you hit cut and it always pulls it out of the needle, there are adjustments that you can make for that.
And what
But
adjustments?
it's not a
would,
button on your screen.
What adjustments would you make for that? Because that's the issue I'm
Yes.
dealing with.
Let me explain.
Okay.
There's a couple things that can lead to it actually.
Okay.
One of the things that leads to it, just right off the bat, you don't have any spool caps in here, do you? Do you have spool caps here?
I'm sure I do.
Because one of the biggest culprits to this, if you're sewing, this isn't going to be on the embroidery side, if you're sewing, is, I probably don't have the spool cap I want, but if we have it, no, let me
Sorry.
go, that's all right, give me 1 second. You all know what a spool cap is. Oh, let me go grab one. I know.
He's gonna go get a spool cap.
I
I don't
should've-
know where I put my spool
I
cap.
should have grabbed it
Shame
before I
on,
sat down.
shame on me. But what I'm experiencing, and the reason it was turned off on this machine is because it was happening every time my machine cut the thread automatically for me. The next time it started a stitch, it pulled out of the needle. He's going to tell me to change the needle. I did change the needle. There's a brand new needle, and it still pulled out of the eye.
All right.
So here we go.
So spool caps. I grabbed this one just because
That's a big.
that's a big spool cap.
That's-
If you have the spool cap, you're never going to use it. But
Well,
Good
if you
stay.
stand it out.
yeah, but what I'm about to
That's a
show you, that's a
big
big spool
spool
cap.
cap.
This is the spool cap that most people end up using.
Yeah.
The spool cap that is worth its weight in gold that
that-
everybody loses
No, we have.
is this one.
That's in there.
I know, but you're probably going to lose it at some point. Like, do you have more of these? I usually have a bag of these, but I always lose them.
Probably should leave them on the machine.
That's the spool cap that everybody wants or needs. What happens is, this is a really common when you starting to run into this. I'm going to move this to show on the machine. I want to move over to this camera, Eddie. What happens on your spool is if your spool cap is too big. This is usually the number one culprit if you're sewing.
Jean said, "Oh, that's what that thing is."
Yeah, so I'm going to use the big spool cap just because it illustrates my point. What happens is,
Okay, that looks like a spaceship.
yeah, but what happens is as you pull thread off, the thread gets caught behind the spool cap. So if your spool cap is too big, 9 times out of 10, that's the first thing I check if you're running into an issue where you're constantly having to want to do it picture in picture. Where you have to, if you're constantly pulling your thread out, check the size of your spool cap. If you have an oversized spool cap, what's happening is the thread's getting caught behind there. It's putting a little extra tension on the thread and pulling it back out through the needle when you cut. And so this is the other.
Well, mine were standing up on the thing, so.
And so that spool cap.
That wasn't.
And this spool cap would also.
Isn't. I still have the issue.
This spool cap here would also cause a trouble because you see the edge of that spool cap is wider than your thread.
Mm-hmm.
So you always want to use the smallest spool cap possible, which is why this is the one that everybody does.
The go-to.
The go-to, because that fits right in here, keeps your spool in place, your spool's not moving off, but at the same time it's not in the way of your thread. So what happens is it gets caught behind there, and what is happening when your thread unthreads from the needle after cut is you've got a little too much tension, and it's almost like an elastic. You've cut it, and the elastic is coming back. So the first thing, like I said, spool cap. I had somebody in the class on Saturday that was running into this. We swapped the spool cap out. All the problems went away because that was pretty normal. The next thing you can do. This is where we get into trouble. Kind of get into a gray area.
But I don't need the spool cap if I'm using the stand up.
If you're using a cone stand that's straight up and down, you do not need a spool cap.
And that's typically what I do.
Yes, and that's why on luminaires you've got the spool stand in the back. Any machine that has a spool stand, use the spool stand.
Yeah.
That eliminates a lot of thread feeding issues.
Okay.
The next thing that I will do if it's a chronic problem on a machine.
It is.
On this machine.
It is, right, Eddie?
Is we're going to get it in right up to here.
Eddie was here when I was experiencing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, Eddie, what is wrong with this thing?
To check to see, especially if you're sewing, well, the first thing you can do to check to see if what I'm about to do is going to fix it is when you go into sewing. Well, actually, I don't know if it'll do it in sewing. Is come back on your tension a little bit. Cut your tension back to like 2 and see if the problem goes away.
That's my upper tension that you're.
That's your upper tension, yes.
Okay.
Because what happens is what can be the problem is you've got a little too much tension on the upper side.
Okay.
So after it cuts, it's stretching that thread a little bit.
Pulling it instead of.
Yeah, it cuts it, and then like I said, there's kind of an elastic reaction where it pulls it back through.
I did not try that.
So you can try adjusting your tension to see if
Just
that
a
fixes
smidgen?
it. Just a smidgen.
Okay.
I would to test it in good shape, kick it down to 2 and do a couple cuts and see if it's going to act the
Okay.
same. If it does, then you know it's a tension issue.
Okay.
And one of the things I always tell people is then put it back to 4 because if it's an issue, usually what I will do, and this is where I'm going to get into trouble. This is why this is not a.
Why are we going to get in trouble?
Because the fix is right here. This right here is your tension assembly. Can you get? But I don't think that was going to be high enough to do it.
But I was gonna,
What's that?
do you want to adjust that camera more?
Yeah, I can adjust this camera more. Of course, then I'm going to have it all screwed up from one.
So, do I look at this, if that fixed the problem?
Yes, if that fixed the problem.
Go back to 4.
And then adjust here.
And adjust here.
Yes. All right, I think that's going to be good right there. So we're up here on the top.
Okay.
So this right here, this is your tension assembly, and that comes off. That usually sits there. You've got a screw right there. This pops right off. This here, you can't turn it with the machine on because this is actually run by a little motor. This is actually just your tension when you're sewing. If you have this open when you're embroidering, it's amazing to watch. This wheel is going back and forth.
Now we're all going to want to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because you would think that tension is set away.
I didn't even think of taking that off.
Yeah, you think that
By
tension.
the way, I'm sorry to interrupt. This was one screw that he removed.
Yes, it's one. So if this is on here, we're just taking this one screw out here.
And then you can take the secret.
Yes. And if you want to watch it, it's really interesting because, like I said, as you embroidery especially, this tension is not set finitely on when you're embroidering. It changes all the time depending on the stitch, depending where you're at. This wheel goes back and forth, which is very interesting.
Cool.
Because a machine that doesn't have electronic tension has a set tension point for the embroidery. So that's why you get a little bit better embroidery out of this.
Oh, that's why the quilting on these
Yes.
is fabulous. I have 2 different colored threads
Yep.
and I don't even think about it.
So, so this is all the electronic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we do. We see a lot of stuff.
And
Beautiful classroom in the background.
And then this little nub right here, this is where you make a manual tension adjustment. And if you are caught,
What is it? Which one are you
this
using?
little, there's a little silver kind of
Oh,
knurled
yeah.
nub right there.
Okay, yeah.
And all you're gonna do is just use a pair of pliers because they have they usually have some sort of
Can you all see that little silver thing he's talking about?
It's right.
Point to it really.
We'll use these nice tweezers.
Yeah.
This right here.
See that?
That little disc right there.
Bev said no, she can't see it. Should you tour over the classroom? Thank you, Bev. I agree. Bev was in our new classroom. It was a nice day, wasn't it, Bev? You didn't have to lug stuff in.
Why is that not letting me adjust? Actually, you see how that wheel moves when you push your foot down?
Oh yeah.
Because that
Releasing the
that's
tension
releasing
and
the tension.
engaging the
So all you
tension.
want to do is just loosen this a hair. You don't want to do a lot.
Like a thread.
Yeah, just a thread, just a little bit. All we're going to do is turn that. If you're looking at it counterclockwise, it doesn't. But it depends what side you have the
Lefty
clock on.
loosey, righty
Yeah.
tighty.
Yeah, but it depends on what if you're looking at it from this side or if
Yeah.
you're looking at it from this side.
So I'm looking at it from this side.
If you're looking at it from that side, you want to turn it clockwise.
Oh,
Clockwise?
that's backwards of what I would have done.
Yeah, because if you're looking at it from this side, it's the other direction.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna you're just gonna adjust that a little bit, and you can actually see it. What'll happen
He's
is,
pulling it towards him.
yeah, you're
to
gonna see
loosen it.
to loosen it. You're gonna see more threads appear on this end of it, and that is gonna loosen your top tension a little bit. And it's just a hair. You don't want to do it a lot because your tension's probably pretty good out of the box on this. But that little bit of loosening, that 9 times out of 10 will fix a problem with the thread trimmer cutting too short.
Okay.
There are some threads that are just going to cut too short. A lot of, well, not cut. Some threads aren't going to handle it well.
Some cuts better than other.
Those are going to be like your nylons. If you have like an invisible nylon threads tend to be very stretchy. Any stretchy thread is going to give you trouble with the cutter, and that's just because it cuts and then that stretch pulls it back through the. It's like a rubber band. You stretch the rubber band, you cut it, and the rubber band retreats.
Yeah, that's what it feels
Yes.
like it's ripping it instead of slicing.
Yes, and that's going to happen. And by loosening your tension a little bit, you're getting
I
rid of
will
that.
report back.
So by loosening that tension a little bit, you're going to keep it, instead of stretching it, you're just going to pull the thread instead of stretching the thread. And so when it cuts it, it's not going to pull it back. It's going to stay where you put it. That's
So I was all over inside here.
Yeah, that's
and
not gonna- that's
and you
not-
say stay away
there
from
is a
that.
small adjustment you may be able to make in here. We'll get it in the needle plate, and I'll take a look at that. I don't think there's enough of adjustment there that it's going to make a difference.
Okay.
My experience has been that adjusting this just a hair takes care of the
it.
problem. But keep in mind, like I said,
Rhonda has the same problem, as I recall. So hopefully she's going to get to
keep
try
in
hers
mind
as well.
the thread spool cap makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that you might find as well is if you're low on the spool.
Yes.
As you get lower on the spool, you've got it kind of coiled more, so it's kind of become more of a spring.
Mm-hmm.
And so because it's got that kind of that memory of the spring in there, when
Mm-hmm.
you cut it again, it's pulling back. Because what's causing the trouble is the fact that it's stretching the thread
Stretching.
instead of pulling the thread through the needle.
Okay.
And so we just want to let that tension up just a hair, so that we're now pulling it through the needle instead of stretching it, and then when you cut, it stays where you cut. So
Sweet.
I don't know if that answered the question for anybody, but that's
well, it
what's
gave
happening.
me something to try that I haven't
Yeah,
tried.
that is-
and I like to be able to
that's-
fix things like that myself.
Yeah, and that's and that.
No one
and-
wants to lug in the machine for something.
Yeah,
something
and
like
and the
that.
basic idea, like I said, is it's because you're stretching the thread instead of pulling it
Okay.
that causes that to happen.
Okay.
But on the jump stitch, you can change that because that's a different issue.
And I actually was using a different thread than I normally do. Now that you say that, I was using the cotton Aurifil,
And cotton Aurifil,
where I usually use the Floriani.
yes, and cotton is going to be cotton thread holds that memory of the of the spool more.
So maybe just
so
a
that-
smidge in tension
Yes,
difference. Okay.
and if you're sewing, and if you know it's specific to the spool you happen to be using, kick your tension down and don't worry about it. Because the only reason I would change it is if everything is doing that.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a different thread.
Yeah, I would just
It
try
was
to
the same thread on both machines too.
Yeah.
It was, down that you say that was Aurifil cotton that was doing
Yeah,
it
so
to me.
you could just kick the tension down and not worry about it if it's a specific
So,
thread.
we're
But
gonna
if it's
say that
happening with
I-
everything, you just adjust that top with a hair and you're good to go. And
Yeah, I didn't even think of the different thread, but I used it on two
And if
different
you're-
machines, and they both started doing the same thing.
And
so
if you're not
I
local-
think by golly, it's that cotton Aurifil thread.
And if you're not local and you do
Less
this,
tension.
just put it
Right.
back together and don't admit that you touched it when you bring it into the shop.
Okay.
If you're local, you do it, I don't care. Just say, yeah, I tried to adjust it. I'm like, okay, at least I know where I'm starting.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Anyway.
Awesome possum. All right, well, thank you for that. I'm
Oh,
very
yeah, no,
excited
not
to
a problem.
see if that fixes my little dilemma I've had. My thread was on the stand too, Rhonda. My thread was on
Yeah,
the
so
stand.
if the thread is
So
on the stand, so, yeah, it's not the spool cap.
Yeah,
And you may see that more with cotton because because it comes off the spool so much looser. Where you're getting that little bit of elastic pull is from the tension to the needle.
okay.
So
So loosen it just a smidge
Just a-
and I
just a
might be
smidge.
okay
Yep.
when I'm using that thread.
Yes.
And in that case, I would just loosen it over here.
yeah, just
I
loosen it
wouldn't
there
play
and
with that.
yeah.
Okay,
But if you're finding it happens with all thread and you're constantly running your tension at like 3 just so it cuts right.
yeah, then you know you
Yeah,
need to
because
do
you've got a
something
window.
different.
You've got a window on that tension. That for good tension, you've got a window there. You just have to have it on the lower end if you're running
You know,
into cut
this
issues.
is off topic again, but I said this in somewhere in the classroom, and people went, "What? I never heard of that." Regarding the tension on the back of something in embroidery mode, they had like no white. They had a white bobbin, and on the back of their project, they had almost no white showing at all.
Yeah,
And I said, that's a tension issue. You should see, tell me if I'm wrong, general rule of thumb is I should see
the rule of thirds.
the rule of thirds, but the the
Yep.
third is my colors
Yep.
coming in from the edge, and then a third
Third.
of the white bobbin.
Yes.
So I should see 3 columns of color.
Yes.
That's correct.
On
Yes.
my-
And
yeah.
they said, "Oh, I never heard that." And I go, "Oh, yeah, you should see your top thread on the
Yes.
bottom. You should, but you shouldn't see it all
Oh,
the way across."
Yes. And what I would tell people too is when it comes to embroidery, most of the time you're not going to see the back. When you're quilting, you definitely want to get it adjusted right. But sometimes I don't want to see the bottom thread on the top. That's what worries me. So some people will.
No, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, so some people overcompensate to make sure it never happens by going super tight on the bobbin. That you can cheat. I would rather cheat it tight bobbin than tight top
Well,
on
it just
embroidery.
means something's not going to work right
Yes.
eventually, though. It's going to break.
Yes, but keep in mind on the higher end machines, the tension settings are separate for the sewing versus the embroidery.
Okay.
So if you mess around with your embroidery tension, it's not going to affect your sewing tension at all.
Okay.
They're two completely different things. The machine knows when you're in sewing mode and sets the tension at one, knows when you're in embroidery mode, sets the tension at another.
It's just a wonderful
That's
thing.
what's nice about the electronic
Don't
changes.
argue. That's why Perry's so easy.
If you make this change up top here, that will affect both sewing and embroidery
Yeah, that
because
makes
that is a physical change to the machine.
Okay. I think you
I have
might
come
have
way overboard, but
No, I think I might know the answer to my problem, so I appreciate it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now we'll move on, unless I won't loosen anything until I check. Yes, Rhonda, that's what I learned too.
Yes.
That's what. Oh, I hope you do, Jean. Jean, I hope you do come in next Wednesday.
yes.
That would be exciting. Okay, so,
Okay, so that's everything
now
I
we're
got.
going to talk about what I got.
Well, yeah, what do you got?
What do I
You
got?
got something exciting?
I do have and we're almost out of time. Oh my Lord.
Holy cow!
How? I might have to save mine.
We could save yours. If you
Wow,
want
we have to. We're out
yeah.
of time. I'll do one part of the topic.
to. Yes.
Believe it or not, I saw a new way to do binding. And I said, oh my gosh, I want to show that off.
A new way.
A new way. And that's what I was going to show off today. But now we're only down to 2 minutes, so I don't want to show it off.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
I
you
won't-
just give a teaser, new binding.
Yeah, it's a new way
Tune
to do
in next
binding.
week for the
I'm
new
going to show
binding.
you my preferred method of binding once again. This came up during the table runner class, the whole idea of how to determine how to do your binding just so. So maybe I'll just throw a few things out today instead of doing the whole samples. One of the things that I don't do, and I know Brenda agrees with me on this, is we do not iron our binding in half. This is all talking about double-sided binding. Eddie, can you switch to my
Beautiful.
iPad here so I can show you? This is... We're waiting for my lovely
Oh,
iPad.
there we go.
Yeah, but I want the screen.
Did we not plug in?
No, we'll plug...
Try it and plug in.
I thought we tested it already, too, so that's crazy.
It's working early.
Well, are we on the right
Technical
one?
difficulties.
Want me to,
Oh, there you go.
There we are.
Okay, so this, I'm not an artist. I wish I were, but I'm not. But picture, oh, we just faded out again.
Is it?
We must be loose. I'm going to use a different port in case it's my, oh, I don't have a different port. I have to use this port.
Oh, is that USB-C or HDMI
Yeah,
out?
it's both.
Oh, okay.
It's mini to regular. There we go. Quick while it's on. So this is, pretend this is the edge of your fabric. Okay? So I have all these samples ready to go. Oh, man.
Oh, what is?
Well, maybe I won't do this part this week either because I need to, we got to figure this out because I want this for class on Saturday. Well, folks, technical difficulties is
Okay.
against me. So I
Got everybody
will,
excited now.
I know, I'm sorry. What I shall do next week is, Eddie, you're going to help me get this troubleshooted because I need this for Saturday's class. And that was a bad drawing anyway, so, but, I want to explain why we do not iron our binding in half.
I can explain it to you real quick.
No, I want to.
Okay,
explain
fine,
it.
fine.
I got a nice little drawing I want to do.
It looks fantastic from here.
Next week we're going to show you one brand new way to do binding I had never seen.
And I will get off on a tangent on machines next week.
That I had never seen before. Then I'm going to show you my preferred way of binding. I'm going to show you why we here at FPQ do not iron our binding strips in half.
I do, but that's me.
Well, I'm going to show you why not to.
I know why not to. I'm very aware of why not to.
And then I'm going to give you a formula to coordinate your seam allowance width with your binding width. Stay tuned for next week's show.
Sounds exciting. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. Join us again next week and learn about binding. So
Again,
on.
more
and be
binding.
so on and be excellent to each other.
Toodles! Don't forget to